Second Nature for Children is in the house. Coach, how you doing?
As always, man. Great, great. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing absolutely great, man. I'm ready to jump into this already because this is another discussion where it deals with a lot of feelings and emotions. It'll kind of remind you of a religious type of discussion. And once we dive into talking about religion, you know we're dealing with feelings and emotions at a very high level. And so I want to talk to you today a little bit about marriage and the Black relationship as two people coming together. And I know we're not going to be able to uncover this all in one show. So I'm going to see what the response is. I'm going to see how the people react to it. And I'm just going to give some facts about relationships, especially in the Black community. I love just dealing basically with the Black community. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, Facebook family, as you come in, make sure you go over to YouTube. Let's build this channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share this information with someone so we can push this channel so we can help ourselves as adults and help our children first and foremost. Make sure that you go and check out our information, our website. Our information is right there. Go check out the work that we're doing with the youth. Yeah, if you'd like to be a part of our organization, there's my email address. There's the Cash App if you would like to help us with our organization. And there's the information. So, Coach, we're going to get right to it, man. Let's jump right into it. And like I say today, I want to make sure everyone is well. Of course, I teach the science of how to connect the mind, the body, and the soul together. When you sit down and you think about everything that's going on in your life, you sit down and kind of reflect on your past, you'll see where it's either dealing with your mind, your body, or your soul. You've been hearing about it for so long, but no one has really taught how to connect the three together for optimal success. And that's what I do for the youth. I teach them at a very young age because we suffer in these areas now, whether you know it or not. Either we overweight or obese, that's dealing with our bodies. We sick, we're not doing well. Mentally, a lot of us, not saying you're crazy, because a lot of us get offended, but I can guarantee you that a lot of us are dealing with bipolar, some type of mental disorder, or some type of mental issue, or some type of mental illness that haven't been addressed in the Black community. Really, never that I've known of, where we really come together and really put emphasis on our mental health. And spiritually, a lot of us are just spiritually broken because we have been indoctrinated with a religion dealing with our spirit. And that has really hurt a lot of us if we don't know how to use it. Because if we're using that spiritual aspect of religion, and then we will be in a better condition, especially as a people and as an individual. But I want to talk to you tonight, and here's another touchy conversation. And I would like for the people to share with me in the comment section and give me their perspective. And I know we won't be able to unpack all of this in one night. So we may have to do a two-parter or a three-parter. We'll just see how the people respond to it. But what I want to do tonight is I just want to lay down a foundation for what we're going to discuss, and then we could just move forward as the weeks go on, depending on how the people respond to it. You and I, we're going to give it anyway, but we'll just see. Because when we make bad decisions in relationships and marriages and things like that, it affects our children, especially if you have children, it affects the children. So my question is this here. If not for money, in 2024, why get married? That's my question. And I would love for everyone who's tuning in to kind of think about that. Open your minds up, get out your feelings and emotions about it, but kind of open your minds up, kind of think a little bit. If not for money in 2024, why would you get married? Now let's define something, because I like to have a reference for us to come back to, so everyone don't be all over the place with their own meaning of words and meanings of things. So let's make sure I'm gonna give a reference. So if anyone come at me the wrong way, I'm gonna have something to go back to because what I do, I love facts. We all can have our different opinions. You give yours, I give mine. Then we can move on. But I'm not going to debate anyone or go back and forward with you about a discussion, especially once I lay out these facts. Now, married is to John as husband and wife, according to, now listen to this right here, according to the laws and customs of a state. Listen to that right there. Marriage is just John as a husband and wife, according to the laws and custom of a state. Now, I want you to listen to that right there, coach, because what I'm getting ready to show you is why marriages are not working. Why they're not working. Watch this right here. A law is a rule or regulation recognized by a state. Now you're just going to get a piece of paper. That's all you're doing. When you get married, you're just going to get a piece of paper. Okay. It's a binding, bringing something together. We already said we're bringing a husband and wife together. It's a binding. Okay, now a custom. Let's make sure we get this together. So I'm setting the foundation for the discussion. A custom is any usual action or practice, a habit. That's all it is. So I want you to kind of listen to why I'm defining these things, because if you really sit down and think about it, it's going to let you know why marriages are not working. Because you're just getting that piece of paper because of a law. That's not going to help your marriage. And you're getting that piece of paper because of a custom. That's not going to help your marriage. Listen to me. Don't get feelings in there. As a husband is just a man who married a lady or a wife, and a wife is just a lady who marries. That's all it is. A husband is someone who marries the lady. A lady, a wife, someone who marries a husband. That don't help a marriage. That don't help a marriage. I just want you to understand. That don't help it. I'm going to show you why we're in trouble. So that's why I asked you the question, why get married? At least if something happened in the marriage, you will get some money. Why get married and you're going through a lot of mess, then once you divorce, you don't get nothing but a headache. So at least if you get married for money and things go crazy, at least you can get some money out of it. Just something to think about. Because when we look at marriage, it's like looking at parents, setting the base. It's like looking at parents. We know what our parents should do, but it doesn't mean that they would do it. They're just a parent. A parent is just a male and a female who has an offspring. Don't mean they're going to love you. Don't mean they're going to care for you. Don't mean they're going to nurture you. It doesn't mean that, family. We got to wake up. And if you understand the field that I come from, working with children and seeing how the so-called parents abuse, molest, and different things to the children, no. So when you think of parents, you think of someone who should love you and nurture you in a certain way. Doesn't mean that they will. So we know that when we get married, it's a way that we should be when we get married. It doesn't mean that it'll be that way. Because it takes more, going back to the top, it takes more than a law or a custom for a marriage to work. It takes more than a law or a custom. You can win and got that piece of paper, you can win and got married. It takes more than that law. It takes more than that custom in order for your marriage to work. This is what we're messing up at. I just want you to think about it. It takes more than being a husband or a wife in order for that marriage to work. Just because you're a husband, that don't mean your marriage gonna work. You just someone who can get married. You just a male who can get married. Just because you're a wife, that don't mean your marriage is gonna work. That's just someone who can marry a man. Listen to me, family, so you can understand what's going on. In 2021, Black females and Black males experience the highest first divorce rate in 2021. You could go back and check that out. Who did a study on that? That was Bowling Green State University. You can go check out that study, that survey they did. I'm giving you references so you can go and check it out for yourself. The percentage of Black marriages ending in divorce for the survey response was 47.9%. That was just for the ones who responded. It was the highest among the respondents. Everyone didn't respond, and it already hit 47.9% of Black divorces. It was the highest. You can go check that out at blackstatistics.information. Among our counterparts here in the United States, Black divorce rate is the highest among the races, 30.8. You could go check that out at divorce.com. I'm giving you references. I ain't just talking. I tell you, I'm bringing you facts. The most common reason for marriage is love. Divorce.com. And we're going to go through some other things on another video. But I just want to share that, and I'm getting ready to let you go in, Coach. The most common reason that people say that they get married, I want to take the highest percentage one that they use, and they use love. It was at 90%. 90% of people say they get married because of love. Now, love is just a warm and tender liking. That's what love is. Let's make sure we understand what love is. It's a great affection or devotion, loyalty when you're showing love, faithfulness. To devote is to set apart for a person or purpose, to give up, to sacrifice. Just hearing that right there, you're going to understand why a lot of our marriages is not working. Because forget the laws that you go in and got the paper, forget the custom, that's not working. Now, here we go with the love part that 90% of people say they get married because of love. But where is the loyalty? Where is the faithfulness? Where is to set this person apart from everybody else? What about the giving up of other people? If you're male, you're female. If you're female, the male. And what about the sacrifice? Here we go. This is why our divorce rate is so high in the Black community, because there is no loyalty, there is no faithfulness, there is no devotion, there is no sacrifice, there is no giving up. Why did you go get that piece of paper? Why did you go get that piece of paper? The most common reason for divorce, and we're just going to take the number one that they have recorded, and it's the Huffington Post, or you can go look it up. It's 75% a lack of commitment. That's why they say most divorces occur at 75% because of lack of commitment. That's why I asked the question, why would you go get married if you're not ready for the commitment of marriage? Just because you went down there and got that piece of paper that's dealing with the law of that state and the custom of that state, if you are not ready to be committed to a marriage, that marriage won't work. I don't care. You can go get married all you want to. It means nothing joining you all together unless you are willing to show that if 90% of people saying love, that devotion, that loyalty, that faithfulness, that sacrifice, that giving up, your marriage won't work. That's a fact. That's why the rate is so high. So now you see that it takes more than just saying, because this is what happens. It takes more than just saying, I love you. And that's what happened. A lot of us, it's good. You can say anything with that mouth, but when it comes to showing, then that's a difference. And then it depends on what stage of life you got married in. Were you too young? A lot of times, too young. You're not ready for that responsibility. And you're just not ready. Did you understand? Did you truly understand the commitment that it takes? A lot of us don't understand the commitment that it takes to be successful in something. You're talking about having a successful marriage. A lot of us don't understand that commitment. We just going along with the custom of something, the law of something. We just doing something because that's what they've always said. You could get married for the get. No, but if you're not ready for the commitment, then why would you go get married? Did you understand that having things in common is so important? Did you understand that as you grow with your partner? Because if you don't have things in common, I promise you, you're going to end up growing apart. Don't care about you going to get them people a piece of paper. If you don't have things in common, all this I love you saying with your mouth, saying with your mouth. Now you got to think about you dealing with two people. So you may be in love. You may be ready for loyalty. You may be ready for faithfulness. But is your partner ready for that? See, you're not marrying yourself. You marrying someone else. So is your partner ready for that marriage? It's something to think about. So that's why you should take your time in finding your mate. And if you are maturing, you have to make sure that the person you're dealing with is maturing as well. You have to. So you all can grow together. Coach, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to leave it right there. I just want to set a base. And I asked the question, if not for money, in 2024, why would you go and get married? 90%, divorce.com says that 90% of people say that they got married because of love, but they see that love didn't keep their marriage together. So why go get that piece of paper? So I ask you, do you need that piece of paper to be together and to be faithful with your partner?
No, you don't. And marriage, in the true sense of the word, for what it ought to be, to me, it will be the biggest come up. You already touched on certain points. When I say come up, I mean two people building together. Two checks instead of one. You know what I mean? Two minds instead of one. You know what I mean? Two people trying to solve a problem or problems instead of one, in the true sense of what it ought to be, right? But today, in a microwavable society, if someone cannot, and I say him or her, cannot, facilitate their needs, their basic needs, roof over their head, steady income, you know what I mean? Food on the table, etc., clothes, etc., then they're going to look and see who can facilitate that. Hence, you got marriage. You know, someone needs someone need funds to, get qualified, get a degree or whatever. They don't have it. Someone else have it. Okay, I let her hook me up, or I let him hook me up. And once they get it, they gone. So, like I said, it's subjective. And if it's done in the true sense of what it ought to be, it'll be the biggest come up. But you find people being people, people looking out for themselves. The average person is selfish. Human beings just selfish, period. Once you realize that about yourself, then you can make some adjustments to be a better human being. So if you got people who are selfish, trying to come up for themselves, not for each other, we coming up together for themselves, you're going to have the divorce rates you have. You know what I mean? You're going to have that. So you're saying, why do it? It could be love, and it could be the biggest, the best, fastest way to come up in the true sense of it. But today, the way you see most people think, you really got to be selective, man. You got to look for the other things that people don't talk about: morals, ethics, scruples. That's what you got to look for. You know what I mean? That person, their track record. And it can be instant. You need time to really weed out, the right or the wrong. You know what I mean? If you're looking for a candidate, if that's what you want to do. On the other hand, if you good by yourself, I'm talking about you satisfy your needs, you're good, you got extra, whatever. Why would you try to mix your nice peace, solace with somebody else because you don't need to. But on the other hand, if that person is similar like you, got their own stuff going on, whatever, then y'all can even be greater than you are, singular. You can be greater together than you are. But you're going to be a little reprehensive to do that because you're not trying to mess up what you got going on. But as long as that person's similar, yeah, I can see that happen. I can see them, we get there faster and we'll be less stressful in each other financially, whatever. So I said again, the quickest come up is marriage for both people. But today we see people are doing it for themselves. They don't care about you as long as they can get from point A to point B. You know what I mean? I've seen instances where folks pay for degrees and all of that. And once them folks come up, man, they out. They're gone, you know? And it's both ways. You got male and female. Joker hurting, need a place to stay, you know. She opened up, let him in. And once he get in his feet, he's gone. So you got to look for, I said, morals, ethics, and all of that stuff, man. And then you look for, the other stuff. But it can work if both parties are being honest and they're trying to do it, not society's version, the engagement, the ring, the big, destination and all that. No, not that. Because after that, what happens? After that, what? I know I'm not trying to go too long. I know someone who is trying to get married. Well, she probably get married next year. It looks like. And I asked her, okay, after you get married, what? I mean, what then? You accomplish what you wanted to. Okay, what happens after that? Because it's a whole long road. Are you ready for the valleys? You know what I mean? The up and the down. Are you ready for that? So. But yeah, that's my take, man.
You definitely wasn't going too long. That's great. And definitely, if two people are not ready for that commitment, because a lot of times, a lot of us, especially ladies, peer pressure, that
Yeah,
society has, yeah, that society has
yeah,
put on the lady, you know, whether she want to really do it or not. Something is wrong with me if I don't be married by a certain age or a certain time, or my
yeah.
grandmother was married at this time, or my mother was married at this time, or my girlfriends, they can got married. So what's wrong with me? Peer pressure a lot of times will prompt us to just go do something just absolutely stupid a lot of times. So definitely a fact about if you're gonna marry someone, then it's definitely going to take two like-minded people that's growing together and that's maturing together and ready to unite, come as one, and like you said, be able to deal with those low points in life and be able to deal with those high points in life together. But man, to get to that point
Mm,
where you want to make that commitment to one
mm,
person, see, now we're going to go
mm,
back and deal with when I talk about being successful in anything in life, you have to have a certain mindset and principle set. You have to have that to be successful. That's why I'm trying to teach everyone about that foundation and that base to be successful. Because for a marriage to work, that means it's the same thing. It has to be successful. So it still comes with certain things that have to come together to make it successful. Okay, I put out this right here. In order for you to be able to make a marriage work, you have to have a certain mindset. Here we go with the basic. That's why I'm telling everyone when you're dealing with the mind, the body, the soul, where you are right now in your life, those three areas, umbrella, whatever you're going through, you can't get away from them. Wherever you sit, whatever you're going through right now in your life, it's either dealing with your mind, your body, or your soul. In order for you to get married, these two people have to have a certain mindset. If you haven't defined, imagined, or envisioned what you want that mindset to be within that marriage, if those two people, see, I don't care how much you love, you faithful, you honest, it doesn't matter. Because if you mess around and marry someone that does not have that same mindset, you're gonna always find yourself somewhere crying, somewhere depressed, somewhere feeling bad because you have connected with someone that's not ready for the commitment that you may be ready for. It's something to think about. It's something to think about. Ladies, you upset with this man because you say, okay, well, he's cheating, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing this. Baby, he just wasn't ready for that commitment. You may have pushed him into it. A lot of times you just never know. You may have pushed him into doing something that he really wants. You want to say something about that, coach?
When I said I talk about a friend of mine who will probably get married next year, she basically told him she want this by this time, that by that time.
See, that's not. See, do you understand? That's not good. And the man, he got to wake his dumb butt up, stupid butt. And when I say that, I'm just saying that he may just be making bad decisions because you now here it is. The man is trying to make someone happy where he don't understand that, man, that's a serious commitment, and all you doing is you just getting ready to bring trouble into two people's lives. That's what you're getting ready to do because you're gonna bring trouble in her life because you're not ready for the commitment, and now you're getting ready to bring trouble into your life because you're not ready for the commitment, and that happens every day because now you're being pressured because she can put her mama Megan told her this, her girlfriends can say this, her co-workers can say this. Why you keep doing this, girl? Why you keep doing that? Girl, he'll have to put a ring on my finger. But ladies, be careful. Ladies, please. Ladies, be careful. Men, be careful. If you don't meet that person, and that's why I say give yourself time because y'all mindset has to be flowing in a similar direction. Now, here it is. You got to connect that mindset to what dwells within you. I always talk to you about your principle because here it is. In order for that marriage to work, discipline, self-control, tenacity. You can't get around it. You use the same principles for anything you want to be successful for. That's why I'm trying to explain to us. We thinking that being successful is so complicated. No, it's simple. We make it complicated. All you got to do is understand the basics of being successful. If you want your marriage to work, first you got to make sure that you are ready for that commitment. What we got to stop doing, this is what we have to stop doing. And I know this is going to be hard. We got to stop lying. We got to stop lying to ourselves and we got to stop lying to our partners. I know that's going to be that right there. That's going to be so hard to do. But we got to stop lying. And we got to stop putting ourselves in these bad predicaments. And if you don't have that mindset of being married, really gonna sit down and thought about the commitment with all these other women out there, with all these other men out there, man, you ain't ready to be married. You got to stop playing. You got to grow up. It's so much, you got to tap into that which dwells within you. Because just being faithful alone, man, that comes with maturing. Being loyal, that comes to sacrifice, to give up, that comes with maturing. And a lot of us are not maturing. So how in the world you think you're going to be faithful in a marriage when hell, you're not even faithful to yourself? A lot of us are not even physically, a lot of us are not even faithful to taking care of ourselves physically. A lot of us are not even faithful to taking care of ourselves mentally. And a lot of us are not faithful to taking care of ourselves spiritually. So how in the hell we think we're going to be faithful to someone else? And we're not even used to being faithful to ourselves. We got to stop playing and we got to stop lying. We got to wake up. We got to be able to look at things for what they really are. and stop going with that old custom, stop going with that old law. Because why do you need that piece of paper? If your lady is pressuring you to get married, you can say this right here. Why do we need to get married? Why? I just, and I want the comments. I love comment. Let me know at this time for just the basic discussion we can have. If you're ready to make that commitment to your person, if you're ready, if you say you're ready to make that commitment, why do you need a piece of paper to validate your love? Because we see through study, through observation and observing, that just saying you love a person, it haven't worked for us so far. 90% saying that I got married because of love. But when you go back and look at how high the divorce rate is, so it lets you know it wasn't the love to keep it together, because you really wasn't in love, whether you know it or not, because you wasn't ready for the loyalty or the faithfulness, or your partner wasn't, because study shows too that Black women is the highest in divorcing their males. All you gotta do is pull it up. So she finds out, she finds out that he wasn't ready. And the man got to stop lying. He got to stop being a coward. And he got to start being truthful and being honest that he's not ready. He has to do some more growing. He has to do some more maturing. And ladies, if he's not growing or maturing, then that's the wrong person to marry, because he don't have that discipline. He don't have that self-control. He does not have it. Let's just go on and tell the truth. If he's not growing and maturing, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the commitment in him. The Negro is not even carrying out his responsibility now. A lot of times you ladies already know he's not a good mate. You overlook so much stuff. Go ahead on, Coach.
They can always change it. I mean, they can always change it. Here's the thing, man. You got to be a solid individual, not to a male or female, to ask the question you said, why do we need this piece of paper? I'm talking about solid in terms of your principle. I'm talking about solid in terms of you taking care, you can take care of yourself, you good with you, all around, you good with you, you still got work to do, you know what I mean? But you good with you. So you stand in and look, this can go either way. But I'm gonna ask it anyway, because I need to know why we need this. The average person's not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. Fear that the answer could be rejection, could whatever. But if you were solid, man, you wouldn't ask that question, you know? And you would also ask, okay, give me your definition. Give me your definition of marriage. What it looks like to you. Because I need you to paint me a picture so I can see if I'm ready for that or not. Because everybody's definition is not going to be the same. A woman might say, well, you take care of all the goddamn bills. She might say that. Marriage to me is you paying all the bills, you know, you taking care of everything. My money is my money, and your money is our money. It could be that. So you got to ask them questions. Like I said, you got to be a solid individual to ask that. A lot of people, like you talking about honesty, they're not ready for that. You know, they're not ready to reveal what their definition is, and some people not ready to hear what that definition is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back. We're gonna have to definitely come back and continue this discussion, because we got 3 minutes left. I don't want to hold them long. We definitely gonna have to come back. Well, I already knew we weren't gonna be able to put it into one
yeah,
session.
I knew that too.
And then I'm gonna end with, it's hard for two people to make it when a lot of times both of those people are dealing with a lot of mental issues and illness and things themselves. That's hard for two people to come together. They don't understand a lot of times their mental state may not even be ready to be talking about getting married. So we're going to come back, Coach. We got 2 minutes or so. I'm going to let you end it out, really 2 minutes and 30 seconds, Coach. I'm just going to let you end it, and we'll come back with not even a part two. We'll just carry the discussion on with another topic onto it.
you got to, as an individual, man. We talk about two people come together, but as an individual, prior to that, you got to be solid with you, man. You got to be honest with you. You got to be solid with you, for it to work. Like I said, it's a beautiful thing if it's done the way it ought to be done. But like-minded people with the same definition for what it is, and knowing that it's not going to be always peaches and cream, it can be valleys. You know what I mean? We got to roll with, you know, especially now, the economy, gas, everything high. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a solid man individually and you got a like-minded person, I can see that working, man. I can see it working for the long haul. But if you not sure about yourself and you're not sure about that person, you might want to take a step back and work on some things before you all even do that. Because you might be saving them, you know, a serious tons of trouble and yourself. You know what I mean? If you're in California, you might be saving yourself 50, was it 50%? They cut you 50% in California. I don't know what other state does it. So be careful, man, and make sure you're ready. Let's put it like that. Make sure you're ready. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're ready. So yeah, that's it. We catch y'all the next time around.
No doubt about it. I'm gonna let it go right there, coach, and get ready for a second part because we definitely gonna come back and finish this discussion. We'll see what the comment section say, and we'll leave it right there. And until we come back together, I'll holler at you, coach.
All right, peace out, man.